looking too, and we'll get into it, about this crazy story about this guy who killed two laborers on his farm up in Willits in Northern California. I was just reading about it. Didn't get too far. I'm going to touch on that. I just see that the Fed sent out a letter to the proud people of the state of Minnesota, who just recently got their adult use cannabis legalization passed. The Fed's warning people that your Second Amendment rights are no longer any good if you use cannabis. So we'll talk about that um, right after this beautiful, beautiful hash rosin brush. Here we're smoking ice cream cake. This is, I'm sorry, garlic jungle cake from Bo's Nose in Oregon. Cheers. Yeah.
Nino Brown says, "Bro, love the hardware. What happened to the Serious Disposable?"
Mm, let's talk about it. The V2 Serious Pod. The V2 Serious Pod originally was our product that we brought to market, and our Chinese manufacturer, uh, I believe, just got a little too thirsty and allowed other distributors to have access to it and kind of watered down what we were doing. We also found fail and flaw and fail and flaw after fail and flaw with that unit. It was a continual fucking headache. And I put a large order in, my final order in with the manufacturer in December. Um, say by February, it never showed up. And that relationship basically dissolved into fart dust. We never received our goods, never spoke to the manufacturer again, basically. I think we spoke one more time to try to figure out what was going on. And I had to move on. That is what really birthed the Omega XL. The Omega XL is the evolution and the progression of the Sirius Pod. Newer, updated internal components, better functionality, and just an overall better experience for the end user and the producer processor who has to utilize the gear. It's a daunting task to try to fucking make this $1 and $2 hardware perfect, but it's our goal to do that. And so we stay on that path. On that path were some pitfalls and bumps in the road. I'm not the most acumen businessman. I didn't go to B school. I'm a street guy who started this company almost 10 years ago, and we've been blessed enough to just keep it going, be progressive, and find our niche. And that's what we do. But yeah, as far as the V2 Serious Pod, um, that was actually the evolution of the Quasar Pod. The Quasar Pod birthed the Sirius Pod. Sirius Pod birthed the V2 Sirius Pod. The V2 Sirius Pod and all the metrics and time we put into that unit birthed the Omega line. So not only the Omega XL disposable, which is head and shoulders, a better unit than the Sirius Pod ever was, and the Omega 510. So yeah, that is kind of the synopsis of the situation and why we are where we are now currently with the hardware that we offer. And I'll tell you, when I sold the V2 Series Pod and the original Series Pod, the V1, there was some issues. We, spend a lot of time in the lab working with the oil, which what we call the software. If the vape hardware is the hardware, right? And so we have this perfect SOP that we've created um, that not every client of ours utilizes. And so there's so many ways to skin the cat, I guess, in regards to taking a solid and turning it into a liquid for vaporizer applications. If you don't do it exactly the way I did it, I felt like people were having problems, and those problems just fucking were a nightmare for us. Sometimes it was a real headache trying to progress something with this huge disconnect with Chinese manufacturers. Chinese manufacturers can construct, engineer, and render these pieces of hardware, but they don't have the software or the fuel to fire up the engines that they're designing, so to speak, right? And so they have a domestic partner like myself to refine and R&D the hardware that we're making. And it just takes so much time back and forth, and something that usually takes 1 to 2 years, market research, R&D, development on a piece of hardware before you release it to market. We do it pretty quickly. And that's because we have a relationship with the hardware and the consumable product that allows us to work pretty rapidly. We can go from concept to mold to market ready design in a matter of months. And doing that, though, rushing shit, you're gonna find fails and faults and shit you got to fix and refine. And I think in the $1 to $2 disposable space, which we're in, it is a never-ending fucking task to do that. The hardware is only as good as the last one you put out, right? Your brand is only as good as the last hardware you put out. And so if your last hardware had issues and you're trying to reintroduce new hardware to the space, it becomes a harder and harder task, even if the hardware is better and better. And so shout out to the marketing team and our sales guys and everyone who's kind of just fucking stuck it out through that time, which was basically the winter into the spring. Now that we have new gear, new manufacturing partners, and the best gear that we've ever had, the future's bright. But yeah, it was tough to kind of eat some of those losses and remake a bunch of clients' hardware, and it's taken for fucking ever to get that shit done. So yeah, man, shout out to everybody who still supports us and rocks with us, and is locked in for the best disposable gear in the space with no cartridge components. What else we got? That was a long-winded explanation. Sorry. But it's real. This shit's... We're not going to get on the live and tell you no bullshit. We're not going to play no games. And we're going to answer the questions, boldly and honestly. It is what it is. And I'm proud of that shit. Take pride in that. It's taken a long time to refine this thing we call Kung Fu Vapes into the little machine and engine that it is now. And yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard to run a business. It's hard to run a business without a partner, without financing. It's all self-funded, self-ran here. We're not some corporate entity. Maybe we should be. I don't know. But, with our team being as strong as it is, we move pretty quickly. Shout out to China for being a core piece of what we do. Without them, I don't think this exists at all, right? So it's trying to make everything move fluidly is the key to this. Let's see. Cannabis news. Let's see what we got here. Denton, Texas. Officials reject cannabis decriminalization, ignoring the will of the voters. Vote those motherfuckers out of office, people. If you're in Texas, fuck that. You get an opportunity to have weed, you must take it. You must take it and run with it. Concerns over serious health condition possibly linked to prolonged marijuana use. Some medical experts say that they are seeing more cases of cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, or CHS, in recent years and are pushing for awareness and more research into the condition. That's a real thing. Some people get sick off of weed. I get sick if I see Midzi weed or Midzi hash. It makes me sick to my stomach. If I see cotton wicking in a vaporizer, I start... I'm sorry. I got a weak stomach. I can't even talk about it. God damn it. Sorry, friends. What else we got? What is this shit talking about? Carnival Cruise Line takes step to improve passenger behavior. They are putting pre-rolls in all of your rooms. Just playing. The cruise line is making some changes that some passengers will welcome. Others might not like the added scrutiny. Cruise ships don't allow people to smoke marijuana on board. And that is a crime. You're fucking on the high seas. I thought there was like a different set of laxed maritime laws and rules and regulations. Maybe you're not allowed to smoke on boats. I don't know. Every boat I've ever been on, we were smoking. Right? Every fucking boat. You ever been on a boat? Were you smoking? Well, you weren't with the right people, right? I was in I was in Alaska fishing. Shout out to the guys in Alaska. Just fishing and smoking, having a great fucking dandy old time. It was amazing. Let's see. The rules are in place, and some people get in trouble for breaking them, but the entire room still smells like pot. The aroma won't cover our entire cruise ship, but anyone who recently has walked around the pool deck after dark on a Carnival cruise line smells like weed. Cruise lines have a zero tolerance policy for weed. Man, whoever's in charge of that, fucking change that policy. No dabs, no vape pens, no pods, no pre-rolls. That's bullshit. But you can drink yourself to fucking oblivion and fall off the side of the ship and fucking get eaten by goddamn barracudas. Barracudas. You heard me. That's fucked up. You know? When you're high, you just want to eat food. That's why they don't want you to fucking... That's why they don't want you high, man. They don't want you eating anything extra. You know? You get your portions, you get your fucking drunk ass back to your room. I eat a lot when I'm drunk too, though. Yeah, man. You get what you get. Bitch, get back to your room. So there's another reason not to get on a cruise ship. Other than the fact that you're already out in the middle of the fucking ocean. That shit's sketchy just to begin with. Right? Yeah, you could be a strong swimmer. You'd be a strong swimmer, but your ass is going to get fucked up by the barracudas. Barracudas. That last dab got me high. I'll tell you that much. It didn't taste the best. It really didn't. It was a little grassy, caryophyllene forward, fucking plenty little thing. But man, it was effective. Shout out to the effect and not the flavor. Motherfucker. Let's see what else we got here. Let's talk about... This is from High Times. Denton, Texas officials reject cannabis decriminalization, ignoring the will of the voters. Those motherfuckers. In November, a huge majority of voters in Denton, Texas approved a measure decriminalizing low-level marijuana possession and offenses. On Tuesday, leaders in the city defied those results. By a margin of 4-3, the Denton City Council voted against adopting an ordinance that would have decriminalized marijuana. Why? Because the fucking people make so much money off you going to jail for that shit. Boy, I can only imagine how it is in Texas. God damn. Damn it, Texas. According to the station, more than 30 people spoke before the vote, including several Denton police officers who say marijuana possession cases lead to searches, which helps combat illegal guns and gang activity. So that's their probable cause to take your funky ass to jail. So they need it. If you take that away from them, then it's just harder for them to fucking take you to jail. Said it right there. But supporters of marijuana use say it's harmless and that there are legitimate and therapeutic applications for both clinical conditions and... Oh, we needed a timer. You didn't set the goddamn timer, Raul. Raul, look at me. You look at me, Raul. God damn it. This character... Are we still on? Yeah. Sorry, man. It went dark. Sorry. That's Texas. Texas don't like you talking about Texas. They tapped in via YouTube, shut the shit down. We pirated our way back to there. Excuse me. But yeah, the police basically put the kibosh on that shit and said they need the revenue to fund crime fucking awareness and gang activity suppression. Tuesday vote marks a dramatic reversal of the November's election when more than 80% of the voters in Denton approved a proposed ordinance to decriminalize misdemeanor pot offenses and possession. So 80% of the people who voted in favor of the shit being decriminalized, and the police swang their dick so tough that they shut that shit down and said, if we catch you with the fucking... with the cannabis, your ass is fucked. That's what it sounds like to me. The ordinance was placed on a ballot following a vote by the Denton City Council last summer. Under the new ordinance, the Denton police officers will no longer write tickets or make arrests for possession of small amounts of pot and paraphernalia, and they'll no longer stop and frisk people when they smell weed. That was the November ordinance. And that's what they were about to do. They were going to let people live and shit, man. Sounds like. The paper reported that the new ordinance will not apply when Denton police are investigating felony crimes, nor will it apply to state and federal agencies or to the Texas Women's University and University of North Texas jurisdictions. They said they're getting your motherfucking asses anywhere in Texas for the weed. They catch you with the weed, your ass gonna bleed. You feel me? That's crazy. Let's get on to another one. From magic mushrooms to big pharma, a college course explores nature's medicine cabinet. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry, I read that like a fucking very slow robot. Oregon looks to crack down on illegal pot growers by holding landowners responsible. I'd be in Oregon. There's a lot of weed in Oregon. Oregon has long been known as the mecca for high-quality marijuana. I don't know about all that. I don't know about the mecca of high-quality marijuana. There's some good rosin in Portland shit. Shout out to the guys from Archive. Bo's Nose is fire. I'm sure there's other brands. But the mecca? That's awesome. This is a PBS NewsHour article. But that reputation has come with the downside. Illegal growers who offer huge amounts of cash to lease or buy land and then leave behind pollution, garbage, and drained water tables. Now a bill passed by the Oregon legislature seeks to tackle that by making the landowners themselves responsible for the aftermath. The bill also prohibits the use of rivers or groundwater at the illegal site, as well as criminalizes seizing the identity papers of migrant workers who tend the plants or threatening to report them for deportation. So they're saying don't fuck around in Oregon, but man, every state says that. You go into jail in every state if they catch you growing weed illegally. I think that's about where that's at. I don't know if there's any reprise for that. If you don't have a medical card or a fucking license to have a business to grow weed, you're still trapping, baby. That's still a crime. You know what I'm saying? And go hard if that's what you're doing. You feel me? Be smart out there, people. But yeah, man. Seems like you still can't just be free, baby. I mean, I'm sure you can grow one or two plants and no one's going to care about that, but you still start popping up fucking big-ass greenhouses and depleting the rivers and fucking beavers and your trimmers, and your ass is done, dog. They're going to shut you down. Let's see. There's Thailand's cannabis lovers face come down amid legislation U-turn. That one's a little sketchy. There's a lot of money been invested over there in Bangkok, Thailand, I think in general for cannabis. It was a rush to get over there. Got a couple of buddies who moved over there. Shout out to G-Shock. And seems like the government's going to do a 180 on them and maybe only make it for medical. No adult use. And so it's going to make it a little bit more harder, have more stringent rules to have access, I think is what it is. Because they're saying that they don't want the kids to be fucked up by all this weed action, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not Thai, and I'm not in Thailand, but I do try to read and try to stay up on shit. And let's see what this one says. This is from Al Jazeera. Southeast Asian countries' booming cannabis industry is under a cloud as politicians reconsider decriminalization. Bangkok, Thailand. On Thailand's Ganja TV, cannabis enthusiasts have followed the drug's swift journey from banned narcotic to legal plant, from medicinal use to recreational high. Now, a year after Thailand... So sorry. You don't say it like that. That is just rude. Very rude. Now, 1 year after Thailand decriminalized cannabis, the Facebook page's 90,000 odd followers are looking on, bemused as rival politicians threaten to make dispensaries and open consumption illegal once again, or at least very tightly controlled. At the center of attention is Pita Limjaroen Rot, the prime minister in waiting, whose Move Forward party scored an upset to become the first place in last month's general election. While MFP is widely viewed as the most liberal of Thailand's political party, cannabis activists say it's leading to the drive to rein in recreational use, casting a pall over the country's multi-billion-dollar cannabis industry. What made you change your mind so much? Because people were fucking balling. I'm sure it's just going crazy. This says, has the HHC vape become the new fashion statement among the youth? I hope not. This one is the HHC blueberry cookies. This is the picture that they're showing. HHC. Pretty terrible. But yeah, just wanted to hop on real quick. Say hi, touch base. Show you that we've cleaned up the shot a bit. There's no more shit on the screen unless we're running out of power, or the camera just shuts off after 29 minutes. After reading about why the EOS R6 from Canon shuts off after 29 minutes, because of taxes or some weird shit. So I haven't figured out how to fucking hack it or crack it yet, but it's either that or get a different camera, because I'm tired of it, Raul. God damn it. Tired of it. Tired. So sick and tired. But I appreciate you for stopping in, checking in with me. I'll see you soon. Peace.